My name is Vyom, and I'm going to be giving you a quick demo of Quanta. So let's begin. What is Quanta? So you can think of Quanta as a data analyst or just simply a search engine that is built for the financial markets. The form factor that this data analyst takes is just a simple chat interface, similar to products like ChatGPT or Claude that you might have used. And currently, we only support the Indian National Stock Exchange or the NSE. But in the near future, we will be expanding to other markets and other asset classes. Now, I'm going to start with my demo now. And when I'm using Quanta, one of the first things that I like to see every day is just the Discover section, which just gives me a nice summary of the market at any given day. So this feature gives me a list of today's top market opportunities. And what's interesting is that today's actually been a rough day in the market. So a lot of stocks and even the market in general was down by a lot. So you'll see a lot of red text and red boxes, but we're just going to ignore that for now. So, in summary, what I see in this specific page is just a list of top stocks whose price is either up by a lot or down by a lot. And as you noticed, this is quite a long list of stocks. So, one of the things that we can do is actually filter based on certain criteria that we might have. So, as I mentioned, this page contains just a summary of all of the top stocks in the market. And top stocks is sort of a like a generic term, but what I mean specifically when I say top stocks is, so for example, top 1% of all stocks by the last 1 year revenue increase, which is this particular stock. So we have these categories, as you can see. So you can filter by revenue, profit, cash flow, market cap ratios, and overall fundamentals. And another parameter that you can filter by is whether the price is up by a lot or down by a lot. So what I'm going to do is just take a look at, okay, since there are a lot of stocks that are down today, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a look at all of the stocks that are up by a lot. And then I'm gonna filter by those that are in the top 1% in terms of their last 1 year profit increase. So as you can see, this gives me a list of stocks where they're in the top 1% in terms of the profit increase or the profit growth. And here you can see that you have RM Drip, and the price is up by 17% this month and 14% this week. And Lloyd SME, which is up by 10% this month. So now I can go to the sector-wise section, which just gives me a nice summary of the sectors. So as I can see here, the healthcare sector has the lowest average debt to equity in the markets, and finance stocks have the highest percentage of high growth stocks. And we can see that utilities have the highest price drop this month, and yeah, and energy has the highest price drop today. And yeah, we can see that the healthcare sector, it tends to be the least volatile. It just is so when you compare the volatility of all of the healthcare stocks with compared to the Nifty, it's 3.3 times the volatility of the Nifty, which is supposed to be a very stable index of the market. And healthcare sector also has the highest price to earnings ratio. Now, so now we can go one step deeper and also take a look at the subsector wise summary. So here we can see that private banks tend to have the highest percentage of high growth stocks. And we can see that asset management companies tend to have the highest average earnings per share. And the Restaurants and cafes have had the highest price drop this month, and we can also see that the asset management sector also has the lowest average debt to equity ratio, which intuitively makes sense because these companies do not tend to have a lot of long-term capital expenditures, whether that be in the form of land, batteries, and things like that. So, yeah, this sort of makes intuitive sense. And we can also take a look at the summary from the market cap perspective. And yeah, um, just want to highlight something interesting here. So, what we tend to notice is that small cap companies tend to be the most affected by any negative news or volatility. And this is seen over here. So we can see that small cap stocks have the highest price drop this week, and they also have the highest price drop today. But what is interesting over here is that in this month, the large cap stocks have actually had the highest price drop, which is certainly an interesting observation. So now that we've taken a look at the market watch feature, we're going to go back to the home section and explore the chat interface and feature with a little bit more depth. So before we go deeper into the chat feature, I think one thing to keep in mind is that you can use the Market Watch feature just as um, like like a high level pattern evaluator where you can, see a summary of what is actually happening in the market from like a broader perspective. And also you get important information about, like really good companies whose price is either up by a lot or down by a lot. So you can accordingly make like a decision, or you can take a further look at some of those opportunities that are mentioned in the Market Watch feature. And primarily, the chat feature is meant to go deeper into um, certain questions or queries that you might have about the market and to filter, like broader concepts and actually get, um, you know, stocks that match a particular query or criteria that you might have. And in a search functionality, you can query by more than 200 parameters, and you also have access to the real-time market data, which is in terms of price and volume. So that's a pretty neat feature. So now what I'm going to do is that we've taken a look at the market watch, and we have, like some ideas on what I want to like go deeper into. So I was really intrigued by the asset management subsector, and as an investor, I think one of the things that is really important for me is to see the revenue growth of a particular company. So what I'm going to do is I just want asset manage management stocks whose revenue over the last 1 year has increased by more than 10%, and whose price is up by more than 5%, let's say, over the last 10 days. So I'm going to search for this very specific question that I have. Yeah, so what I can see here is that I have a list of stocks that match the exact query that I was looking for. So here you can see the like the name of the stock, and then we can see the 1 year revenue growth and also the 10-day price change. So this gives a very precise summary or a table which contains all of the stocks that match a particular query that you might have. So now I'm going to show another example of a query. So I want large cap stocks whose price is down by more than 5% over the last 20 days. Because as we saw in the Market Watch feature, we noticed that there were a large number of large cap stocks that have been down this past month. So I'm going to search. Okay. So yes, again, similar in format to what we saw above. We get a table which summarizes the information that we're looking for. And what we can also do is go one step deeper, or like one step more complex. So yeah, like we can make the query like a little bit more complicated by not only looking for stocks that are down by more than 5% over the last 20 days, but also, let's say, since we want to invest in a potential company, like we want to see or get a list of all the stocks that are a little bit further away from their target price. So the target price is essentially just an estimate for like the level or the price of a stock over like a 1 year period. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and add one layer of complexity over the last 20 days and whose price is, so we want to look at more than 10% away from their target price. Okay, let's search. Cool. So yes, now this filters by another parameter, and it gives me the ticker of the stock and then the price, the target price. So I can see that IndusInd Bank is approximately 800 rupees away from the target price, which is um, yeah, which is a difference of approximately 77%, and this particular stock is down by 22% over the last 20 days. And so I have a summary of all of the stocks that match this particular criterion that we set. And not only can you do queries over the market, but also like you might have a very specific question. So, for example, Zomato has been in the news a lot, and what is interesting from Zomato's perspective is that it seems from outside that they're very well managed and a very well-run company. Now, typically in the sector that they operate, there is, companies face challenges with regards to cash flow, but I know beforehand that Zomato have been managing that aspect very well. So I can ask Quanta for its opinion. So let's just say highlight the strengths in Zomato's cash flow. So yes, it was able to capture, I think, few important points over here. So um, one thing that Zomato's been doing well is that they have improved their profits on an EBITDA level over the last 1 year, And of course, it's a high growth company, so this increase in their revenues has also positively contributed uh, to their cash flows. And so, yeah, this gives a nice summary of all of the important takeaways from the cash flow statement. So there's a positive free cash flow, improved profitability, and they have low debt levels, and they also have a high financial health rating, which suggests that they have strong liquidity and a low risk. So if you actually do your research, like you will be able to corroborate these points that were accurately identified. So this is actually quite a neat summary of some of the interesting things that you can do with Quanta. And thanks for watching and see you soon.